And welcome back to Racing to Win. This is Hong Kong's twice weekly preview show, looking at Happy Valley on Wednesday night and on to race number 9. Now it's a Class 3 over the 1,200 metres. Transcendent comes back to the Valley after a start on the all-weather. California Concord and Diamond Brilliant, they both raced wide last time. California Concord draws 12, Diamond Brilliant 6 this week. Simply Fluke, he's on a 7-day backup. Further down the page, we've got Majestic Star having his second start for Danny Shum. He was a winner here over the 1,200 metres previously. Wood on Fire's won 5 over the 1,200 metres. Tornado Phantom comes back up into Class 3 following his last start win. We've got Let's Do It, who trialled here in January of 2021, making his Happy Valley debut. And Eason, Tom, Happy Valley Class 3 debut. No trials here, but he did win Dowd in grade last time. As we check out the speed map for the last, and we've got Eason, the leader. And he did so well off the front last start, did Eason, or near the pace anyway. And he's drawn gate number 11 here, Paul, and the horse to his outside, California Concord, and barrier number 12. So they're likely to be the two that come across and set up the tempo. Yeah, it looks that way, doesn't it? Which means Diamond Brilliant can get himself into a nice position. Now, the favourite, or early favourite, Tornado Phantom, has gone back. He's drawn a little bit awkward in barrier number 9, so we'll see what happens with him. He's towards the back. He might have to go all the way back to save a 3-wide run with Tornado Phantom. We know Simply Fluke likes to get back as well. Loving a Boom, there's a few back runners in this race. One horse which will be a pace angle in the last race on a good tempo is Eason, who's a last start winner. Nick was at track work on this Tuesday morning to have a chat to Frankie Law.
Frankie, you've got Eason turning up at Happy Valley on Wednesday night. He was pretty good when winning last time.
Yes, he won really good. And now he's go up to Class 3 and the lightweight. So I tried to put him in Happy Valley to see, but unfortunately he got draw 11.
He's always shown a good attitude. He did last time. Has he been a very sort of easy horse to come to hand? I mean, he only had, I think, 3 trials, and now he's run 2 very good races. Yeah,
I think he's really easy to ride, and then he's got some gate speed. So depends by tomorrow night. In front one is better, or he can behind. So I think maybe we can have a look first 2 races. If the pace is good, I think maybe we'll put him in front, yeah.
And has he always struck you like a horse that could handle Happy Valley? He looks like an easy horse to sort of, place during the race.
Yeah, he looks easy, so I don't think he cannot handle the track. I think it should be okay for him.
And Matthew Poon rides, obviously, as you mentioned, a lightweight. That's going to be a big help as well. Matthew's riding well at the moment.
Yeah. He came 2 pounds, good for the young horse, and then lightweight, yeah.
And just on this morning, we saw Far go round in batch number 2. Were you happy with him? He looked to be doing his best work late.
Yeah. I just bring him back to from Chung Fa and let Alex ride him for the trial, so he will know the horse more after the trial. He tell me the form's good.
And obviously he's got an entry in both the Classic Mile and the BMW Hong Kong Derby. He's still very much on course for those races, and you're happy with him going into those?
Yes, for me, his good form, distance, no problem for him, sure. And only the track, we don't know yet. So before the first 3 races in Sha Tin, and then after this 3 races, I sent him to Happy Valley, win few races for me. But I think he still can handle the track in Sha Tin, no problem, I think.
So, and obviously no concern, as you say, with Sha Tin. You're pretty confident he will handle the track there?
Of course, I think. Because the third race, he raced in here, 1400. Yeah. The last quarter, he finished good, so I think he can handle the track.
It was a very strong trial, Paul. You're the president of the Far fan club. Finished off superbly well. He did, didn't he? A really nice trial. And look, he's definitely adds an extra form line going into the 4-year-old series, because obviously he's been running solely at Happy Valley. He did run on, as Frankie said there, in his 1 start at Sha Tin. So look, if he handles Sha Tin, he's got the rating, and the distance isn't going to be a problem. That's Far. And what about Eason, Tom? I know you're all over Eason last start. How do you think he'll go on Wednesday night? I think he can win, Paul. I think he's got a good enough gate speed to get across from barrier number 11 and to lead them here. He was up on the pace last time out, and with a light weight on his back, I think he's going to be tough to beat. All right, so it's a good report for Eason. Here is some of the other horses that he's taking on, and we're going to start, Tom, with Loving a Boom, who hasn't won for a long time but is always running on strongly at the end of his races. Wood on Fire, good record, course and distance, and All in Mine hasn't been with new trainer Chris So for too long.
Yeah, Wood on Fire was caught 3 wide and just battled to last up. He is a 5-time course and distance winner. Loving a Boom, you've got to take him on trust. He's just a one-time winner. And All in Mine, I just wonder about Happy Valley for him. He was caught wide at the rear and covered a bit of ground. Yes, he is drawn a bit better, but he's only a one-time winner from 23.
Yeah, it was off a higher rating though, and the thing with him is he hasn't had any luck with his draws. 12, 10, 9, 8, 10. Barrier 1, look at a price. Look, I think he's a chance in this.
All right, that is All in Mine. Vincent Ho takes the ride, and that race was on the 22nd of December, so around a month between runs for him. Second replay is Diamond Brilliant here, Paul. Now, he did get trapped wide in this race, but he's just such a consistent horse around Happy Valley in particular, and he draws barrier 6. He had gate 9 this night. Yeah,
exactly. So, look, if he can get in behind the pace, because he has got that early gate speed and put himself into a nice position, then, look, he'll have to be a chance as well. He's been consistent. Obviously, that 8th was probably his worst run that we've seen for a little while, but... and he just sort of finished. I didn't quite get him in though, Tom. I thought there's some other good horses in this race.
Yeah, as Mark said before, he covered ground last start, but he's only missed a top 3 placing course and distance on one occasion, so he probably has to be respected from a draw of gate number 6, but he was another one I couldn't quite squeeze into the mix here.
All right, so it's a watch on Diamond Brilliant. Simply Fluke here, Tom. Now, he's on a 7-day backup, so this is last week, and he drew barrier number 4. He's wider in 10, which doesn't really normally worry him because he gets back anyway. He has placed on a 7-day backup in the past too.
Yeah, and he was, I thought, quite good last Wednesday night at Happy Valley. He made inroads late in the race, only beaten the neck there behind Super Dobbin. It was a bit of a queue-up for the finish there with Party Warrior. But just like the way he dashed here, Paul, over the last 100 metres, Simply Fluke.
Yeah, you know what you're going to get with him. He gets back and he runs on late. So he'll want a bit of pace on, and he'll do what he normally does. Again, I couldn't quite get him in the numbers though.
4 times he has won over the 1,200 metres around Happy Valley. Super Dobbin, the winner, that's Party Warrior on the outside, and Colonel running 4th in that race. We switch across to the all-weather, Paul. This is Majestic Star. He was having his first start for the new stable of Danny Shum this night. The other horse in this race is Transcendent, who was able to turn his form around when he came back to Happy Valley. However, his last few starts on the turf, the starts have been an issue with him.
Yeah, 133 as well he has to carry. Look, he didn't get in Transcendent. I did get Majestic Star in though. The horse has been racing really consistently recently, and the win I thought here over the course and distance was pretty strong.
He was a bit slow out last start, Majestic Star, and then raced a bit keenly, but he got a little bit tight over the final stage as well here late, but it was still a good run on what was a busy finish behind the inform Elon. So he makes it into the top 4, I think, on that last start performance. Drawn 7 with Zach Purton jumping on board.
That's quadruple double in the light blue cap to their inside. He placed at Sha Tin on the weekend, so the format of that race has held up quite okay. That is Majestic Star. One more to have a look at here, Tom, and it's Tornado Phantom. Now, he's had such an interesting campaign this time. And he was thrown straight to the 1650 by John Size, and then brought back to the 1400, dropped back to the 1200 metres of this race, and he was hard ridden here as we pick up the replay from the 500, but the further they went, the better. He just kept looking.
He did, and look, he was covering ground pretty much the whole race as well there over the 1200 metres, 3 wide at the back of the field. So even if he does have to cover a bit of ground from barrier number 9 on this sort of performance here, the way took that corner on as well, he was very wide, but still had a lot left at the end, Paul, when he launched late here over the top of Shadow Runner and co. So it was a pretty bold performance considering the ground he covered.
Yeah, definitely. This was only his second win too since he'd won as a Griffin, but shows he's back to some of that form now, and look, he definitely goes in for me. I thought it was a top run from this horse.
And we'll see Shadow Runner running earlier in the program as well. He was very heavily backed in that race, Shadow Runner, and it took Tornado Phantom to run over the top of him to beat him. Your selections for the 9th and final race on the program, Paul.
Yeah, really open race to finish off here in the last. So I'm going to go with All in Mine from barrier number 1. I think he can get a lot better run this time, and he should be a decent price. 12, 13 to 1 he is at the moment. Tornado Phantom, look, it was a great run from him, and he looks tough to beat. Majestic Star just in there for 3rd. His run on the all-weather was good, and he is a course and distance winner. And Wood on Fire gets back, he runs on strongly as well. So 6, 9, 7 and 8 for me.
I'm sticking with Eason here. Yes, it's never easy for the 3-year-olds here up in grade against the older horses, but won really well last start and was good prior to that on debut behind Country Boy. So he's on top, number 11 Eason, over 9 Toronado Phantom, 7 Majestic Star, and 5 Simply Fluke on the 7-day backup. So 11, 9, 7 and 5.